Hello, welcome to Web of Stories. I look a little disheveled. I'm Melinda, sorry about that. Look a little disheveled right now because I'm filming this at the end of the day, not at the beginning when I usually film. But we've been visiting family all day and this is the first time I've had a chance to film. And yes, I'm still annoyed, but this is a tag. So after I did my I'm so annoyed video, which apparently was quite a hit, Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading asked if she could do a spin on my post. And I said, of course, I'd be glad to see what you had to say. And she turned it into a tag, which I thought was a lot of fun. So she didn't tag me in it because I've already done the video, but I want to tag some people now that it is a tag, if that makes any sense. Whoops. So what I thought I would do is run through her prompts really quickly, and then I am going to tag some people. A couple of these she's tweaked or changed a little bit. And so it'll give me, and there's one where I want to kind of clarify my answer a little bit, but we'll go through it. So there are 10 prompts. The first one is, do publishers ever do things that you find annoying? Share an example. Here, I'm going to refer you back to my original video with the 2 examples about the Sarah J. Maas books and the Fourth Wing Iron Flame thing. I do want to clarify, my issue is not with fantasy. It's just as what would happen with those 2 series. You'll have to watch the video to find out, tagged below. The second question, have you ever been annoyed by a spoiler? Even something as simple as someone else telling you there's a great twist. And yes, I addressed this in mine too, about I'm pretty spoiler averse. I was kind of interested to see how many people in the comments said that they aren't bothered by spoilers. I just find that really interesting because we all read differently and we all want different things from reading, but I had never thought about it going in with a spoiler, if that makes sense. But there are some books, and there's always the question about classics. Should you spoil classics? My example is like The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Never spoil it. But at this point, if you don't know what happened in Little Women, how can you not be spoiled at this point? I'm just curious. Anyway, what do you think about spoiling classics? Throwing that out there. Question 3, have you ever been annoyed by what you discovered in a little free library, a book sale, or a used bookstore? Tell us what you found and why it was so annoying. See my original video for the dog poop rant. But a commenter who I am 99.9% sure is Caitlin at Bandy Books' mom. She is a Little Free Library steward. Said that what she notices in her, that she finds annoying, that she notices in her Little Free Library is religious materials and books in really bad condition. So as far as the religious materials, I think if someone puts like a religious novel, inspirational novel, whatever, just people could just not take it. That wouldn't bother me if I went to a Little Free Library and saw that in there. But I have actually gone to Little Free Libraries and seen where people have put religious tracts in the books. That I find annoying because it's like you're using the person who, out of their own effort, has put up a Little Free Library. You're exploiting them. And I have a big issue with that. And I do know that it was not the person who put up the Little Free Library who did that, because the Little Free Library was in a park and it was run by the library. So I know that. I wanted to talk about books in bad condition though, because if you put a book that is falling apart, just bad, in the Little Free Library, that's not that much better than dog poop. Because I do think, bookish people have a hard time with the idea of disposing of books. I have told a story, and I admit when I tell the story, my heart contracts a little bit just from what I'm about to say until I step back and think about it. About my college roommate, who's a wonderfully sweet person, but a little bit weird. And she would go on these long, month-long, outward boundish backpacking trips. And she went on one that was a month long. And they, you were limited on how heavy your backpack could be. And she really wanted to bring a book. So she brought one book, she brought Bleak House. And as she read it, she would tear the sections out and burn them. And I'm like, oh, burning books. But then I thought about, yes, burning books in a bonfire is a big thing. That's bad. But is it really bad to burn the pages of a cheap paperback that you have read because you don't want to carry the weight anymore, and you'll buy another copy of the book when you're done? I mean, let's step back a bit. I'm going to admit something. I have not burned, but I have recycled several copies of Ken Jennings' Junior Genius Guide to Greek Mythology and the Marvel Encyclopedia. I have recycled numerous copies of both of those because my kids love those books so much. They love them that they fall apart. I also replace them. But at that point, recycling a book is not a bad thing. It is, at the end of the day, it's a piece, it's a bunches of paper put together. And if it's falling out all over the place, it's okay to recycle it. It is not, however, okay to put it in a little free library. Don't do that. Just put it in your recycling bin. It's okay. And I'm sure my days of buying the Junior Genius Greek Mythology thing and Marvel Cinematic or the MCU or Marvel Comics Encyclopedia are not over because my kids still love those books and they still are really rough on them. So, okay. So that's my feel about the little free library explanation. When it comes to a short story collection, are you annoyed if there's a novella in the middle of the collection? Yes, I am. See my original video. Number 5, deckled edges, beautiful or annoying? Annoying. See my original video. And I just want to say, this is a very divisive topic. Just look at the comments on any of these videos. There are people who hate deckled edges and people who love them. And if you are someone who does not care either way, please let me know because I'm not sure you exist. There you go. I'm just curious, does that person who does not care either way about deckled edges exist? Okay. Number 6, other people's annotations in used books, library book. Annoying, or are you okay with it? This is one I really wanted to clarify because in my original video, I went off on annotations in library books. And I want to clarify, I am actually okay with annotating books. Personally, the way I annotate books, it doesn't leave a mark in the book. I usually will tab quotes. Sorry, people are doing dishes. I tab quotes and then copy them into a quote journal, or I use a clear sticky note so I can underline. I do that on the sticky note so it's not on the page itself. But if I were to purchase a used book, I would either look through it, if it's one I really don't want any writing in, I would look through it to make sure there wasn't any, or if there was, I'd be okay with it because someone owned it before. When I was in college and I had to buy textbooks, I would frequently find the textbooks that were the used textbooks that were annotated the most because that meant other people did my work for me. But my issue with that was not with the annotation, it was with the writing in a library book. The library book does not belong to you. Would you borrow a book from your best friend that you know you're going to get back to your best friend and that other people in your best friend's family are going to read? Would you borrow that book and write in it? Of course not. So why would you write in a library book? Now, of course, I am really interested to know what people think about annotations. I just wanted to clarify that my annoyance was not actually with annotations, but with writing in library books. Okay, number 7. So a series or a collection of books like an imprint and changes are made, are you annoyed or okay with it? So this was the one where I talked about the Folger Shakespeare Library, which is the one that annoys me most of the time. But then Kelly in her video pointed out that they should be able to get a mass market. They should have every title in both mass market and trade. And they do have 12th Night in trade, so I'm going to upgrade. But, and that is true-ish. I will say there were a couple titles when I did it like a search on Bookshop and a search on Amazon. I did both to kind of compare them. There were a couple titles that I could only find in one or the other. But my 12th Night issue, I can remedy. It's okay. And thank you, Kelly, for that tip. Okay. Number 8. Do the decisions of characters in a novel ever annoy you? Share the book and what decisions you found annoying. Yeah, that was my whole thing with characters always making stupid decisions. See my video. Okay, these next 2 are ones that Kelly added, so I didn't address them in my original video. Are you ever annoyed by how someone organizes their books, and what do you find annoying? No, I am not ever annoyed by how people organize their books. I do frequently want to help people organize their books because I think that's fun, but it's their books. They can organize them any way they want. That being said, sometimes I am mystified as to how people organize their books. And there's been comments on Kelly's original tag video where she talks about the rainbow bookshelves, which I think, yes, look cool, but how do you find anything? That's where I am with that. Literally, how do you find the book you're looking for when you do that? don't understand. But I don't care either because they're not my books. As long as I can organize my books the way I want to organize them, other people can organize their books the way they want to organize them. And then finally, share something bookish that you find annoying. I have a whole video about that, tagged below. You can go see my video and why I was so annoyed, which actually wasn't really about books, but what led to me being annoyed. That's all explained in that video if you haven't already seen it. So that's a quick run through of the 10 prompts, but now I do want to tag some people. And Kelly tagged a bunch of people. I have them listed here, so I'm going to try and tag people who are not on here. I'm going to tag Mild Rumpus because he likes to do tags and his videos are awesome, and I'm sure he has strong opinions. I am going to tag Suey, because Suey, let me talk about organizing books. This woman has a veritable library. Sue Jackson, because I always tag Sue Jackson. Jennifer at Jennifer Loves Books, who says she's never been to a little free library. I guess they aren't as common in England. I don't know. Who else am I going to tag? I'm going to tag Caitlin at Bandy's Books because I name-checked her mom in this video, and I know that she has found like some things in little free libraries. Not that one case it wasn't really a person's fault. It was just something you don't ever want to find in a little free library. It was a wasp's nest. Anyway, she'll have thoughts on little free libraries. So that's who I'm going to tag. Those people. Go ahead and do this tag when you get a chance, if you want to. Tell me how annoyed you are. And for everyone else, if you want to do this tag and you haven't been tagged, I really want to know what annoys you. So go ahead and do it. Just tag me and tag Kelly, who created this tag, off my video, if that makes sense. Thank you very much. Like, subscribe, join my Discord, and I'll see you in the next video.